G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool, super helpful repair video from the Goat Shed, located in, you guessed it, Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. Now today is one of those days where we didn't plan on doing a video, but we're in the middle of doing a Gottlieb kingpin, and we've discovered a problem in the drop target bank. And we'd like to share that with you because this is something you don't really see all the time. But firstly, today is Friday, the 21st of February 2025. It's 21 degrees Celsius outside, which is 69.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, as I mentioned, this is a Gottlieb kingpin from 1973. And what we want to illustrate to you is a problem with the drop target, one target only, not resetting. Now, I'll get Graham to operate the bank and we'll show you what the problem is. Righto, he's going to pop that up like that. Now, the middle target won't reset. It'll drop straight back down. Constantly. All right, now, that can often be a couple of things. It can be a worn groove in the actual target itself. But what he's going to do, he's just going to pull the back off the drop targets by taking the screws out. I think you may have cheated and...
Well, we only put a couple back
Put a couple back in, which is good. Drop targets are such a big feature on Gottlieb games. Now we've exposed that. Now, it's a bit hard to see in there, but Graham's got the spring hook. Just jiggle the spring hook a bit, Graham. There's a really badly worn bit
you can feel it really
on the reset bar in there. And the one immediately to the left of it's got a little bit of that problem as well.
They're all a little bit, but not as bad as this one.
Now, I honestly don't think we've seen that for a long time.
Usually the drop target's not coming up, it's one of the M ones.
Yeah. But... look, we've done so many videos on drop targets. We just really thought this one was worth having a little look at.
It's a very unusual problem.
So what we're going to do, we're going to remove the reset bar, which is this bar here, out of the game. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to take some of these springs off the drop targets, and so we can release...
We'll drop the targets down.
Drop them down so we can get that reset bar out. And we're going to have to obviously... push through the...
we're going to have to do the push rod through.
The rod.
And
we've got another one here as well.
It'll be right. We'll work it out.
So we'll show you this when we get it out, so you can have a look at it.
Bugger of a job.
When we first saw this, we thought that this slot here had got elongated. We've actually seen them worn up to about there on different games, and we thought that was what the problem was till we had a real good look, but it wasn't the case here. So what Graham's done so far, he's taken out the whole shaft. This is the reset bar that we're interested in here.
When we rebuild them and put just one in the middle, we'll talk about the follow through, but when you're doing this, the actual trigger spring holds it on. So trouble is, like as we were saying before, like on 4 and 5 banks, you don't have to do this because it'll come straight out, but because it's got another plunger rod on that end, you can't. It's just going to be in the way. So, and then you just lower the trigger, and it just comes out. Away you go. Then you just keep going until you're done.
All right, we'll let you carry on there. I'm just trying to get that in focus. There's the one with all the wear in it. Just that, it's quite
bad.
Quite deep, that one. And you see the one I mentioned next to it?
Yeah, the one next to it wasn't real good either.
It's hard to see here, but you can see the wear. And it's just enough to not make the target lift high enough to go over the lip. All right, so what we're going to do, simple ingenuity, we're going to turn it over. And that way we've got a nice
edge that way.
Nice edge this way. Right, now how we're going to achieve that, what we've got to do, we've still got the springs on the triggers. So what you've got to do
You've got to push it down.
You've got to pull the triggers all over the edge here.
Just to hold them.
See how they're on the edge because we've still got the springs on. Then you get a follow-through wire.
You're going to need two people.
Well, not a wire, but a rod, I should say.
It's actually the follow-through there.
Or something. Yeah, that's one of the rods that actually goes through the... Right. Well, that's the rod out of this game.
Right, so I can hold it up ready to go.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to...
Push these back.
Push these back with the follow-through wire.
There you go.
And it fell straight in. Just pull that out. I keep calling it a follow-through wire. It's a follow-through rod. You know why I call it a wire? We used to call it a segment wire in a typewriter when we changed type bars. Old habits die hard. So now we've got that in.
Yep, we'll hook it up and then we'll get back to you.
Well, yeah, we'll put it all back together. Now, we've shown you this before. We're not going to show you again.
No,
but
it gets a bit boring.
I'm sure you'd be bored. So there you go. We'll finish this off now. Just while Graham's doing that, I'll just show you. We've got Mustang there all ready to go. That's all complete. Customers being called. They're on their... Well, they're not on their way. They're either going to come tomorrow, being Saturday, or they're going to come up Friday next week. So that's all done. We also had a Gottlieb top card arrive in the other day. Now, the owner of this is a reasonable collector and always buys machines in really good condition. This one, the playfield has had some attention and it's already been painted, thank goodness. Saves Graham doing that. And we've got some new parts to put in. We've got bumper bodies. And what have we got here? Targets of the rivets there. Yeah, he's bought those parts, so that's good. We'll fit. He wants those fitted. And here's the side of the cabinet. There's Kingpin next to it. Makes a big difference, doesn't it? Kingpin got a bit of patina there with scratches and everything on it. And there's a motorboard that was just stripped down yesterday. I think we put a post up in the goat shed about this. And that's all been varnished, ready to go back in the game. There's Graham over there working. There's his Klondike we've been slowly doing. Not looking too bad in the back now. We've got a bit more work to do in there. What have we done? There's the ball count unit being done, the match unit. We have done the replay unit, but he just hasn't put that back in.
Just the one chime box.
Oh, and the chime box, yeah. We've got to do all the relay brackets.
We're doing the relay. We've got to do the score rules yet.
Yep. Oh, yeah, score rules are pretty grotty,
and the motorboard's absolutely terrible.
We're just doing this as a side project when we get 5 minutes. There it is, all back in place with the newer side of the reset bar in there. Now, we're very fortunate. The whole follow-through rod, we've actually got a spare one. So we've talked about this before. For argument's sake, if you need to change that drop target, you don't want everything falling everywhere, you can push the follow-through rod till you get to there, pull that one back a little and pull that one back a little, and out it'll come. All right, Graham will just walk you through putting one of these back in. Now we've got the rod in place. There, he just lifted up the target itself, put it through the end of the trigger through. Now he's just going to hook the spring back on. Just the downside of this is there's 10 to do.
And it's very, very fiddly.
It never ceases to amaze me, the engineering of this, and we do know that Gottlieb made all their own parts, so in the factory they had them all machined up and things like that. Had all the equipment to do it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so there's one done, 9 to go. This bar here is the series bar. That's the one that closes the switches on the butterfly off the back. So that hooks onto, screws onto the end of there.
So we can put that on once we've got all the drop targets in.
And that's just got to go through.
We just do one end at a time, and at the same time when you do that, and you do the spring as well.
Yeah, you just got to put it through where the rod goes.
Yep.
Well, we're more than halfway through now. What's he done there? 6. This is the 7th one. So you can see the springiness there. That's the spring at the top of the target. That's the heavier spring. Remember, there's 2 springs. The heavier one goes on to the actual, pulls the target back up, and the one that he's putting on now, the lighter one, pulls the target off the, or restores the target, I should say. We just spoke about this in a video the other day with all the parts for the Gottlieb games. It's pretty easy to do. Just when he gets his hand out the road. You can see what he's done there. So he's put that through the trigger. Now he's going to hook that. He's got fingernails, so he gets there and he hooks the spring. He pushes it on the side, hooks it on, like that. And then he's got to come down and he's just got to hook it onto
fingernails.
He's going to hook it onto there now using the spring hook. All right, just there. So off he'll go. There it is, it's on. Only a couple to go now. All right, now for the true test. Okay, Graham, restore them. Excellent.
Beautiful.
So that worked.
So we've got to put the back plate on. And,
we had no doubt. Yeah, we'll put that back plate on now.
And away we go.
Now, just bear in mind, people, those reset bars do break. They break that bit off that does the resetting. We had one of those on a, what was it, a 7-target hot shot.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to make one.
We had a lot of trouble with that.
Oh, heaps of trouble with that. There you go. He's using the spring screwdriver to put those screws in.
Makes life a lot easier.
So, like I said, we didn't really intend on making a video, but Spanky suggested that we should do it because
you've got to do it right.
That's a really good handy tip for anyone that may not have thought to do something like that. I don't know, we can even use the word reverse engineering. You can't buy those parts, I don't believe. So sometimes you've just got to do what you've really, really got to do to keep the game operating. We never stripped this target bank right down. We only took the targets out to clean them because they were quite dirty. All the triggers were all...
They're both greased up big time.
In pretty good condition. There's hardly any wear on that end trigger. So, gets back to the old story. You really just got to think about it for a moment and do something about it. And it wasn't that hard to do.
Well, we could probably do that in under an hour without the camera going.
Oh, most definitely. And to make it worse, it was a 10 bank.
Yeah. A 5 bank you would have got away with just pulling it straight through.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
It is what it is.
It is. Sometimes it's nice if the end user buys new targets, but in this case, the guy, they don't look too bad, I've got to admit.
There's none that are cracked. That was the main thing. And
yeah, you just don't want it to break. I mean,
sometimes when the trigger goes through, they wear there.
So it's, 52 years old, or not quite, December, wasn't it? So it's 51 years and 2 months old since it left the factory. And the story with this game is the guy who owns it worked in a pub, and the bloke that owned the pub was friends with a distributor down in Victoria, and this was in the ski field, so they used to leave the games there in the winter. And I think he said they had about how many? 20?
22, I think he said.
So, and take them out in the summer when the ski fields weren't being utilised.
But they weren't all EMs.
No, there was,
a bit of variety, probably early solid states.
And car games and stuff like that.
Yeah, driving games, yeah. Would have been good to see.
So, yeah, he was able to procure this machine at the end of its life, and he got it in about 1980, he told us.
And he said he used to get buckets and buckets of 20-cent pieces.
Yeah. bear in mind, our friends in America, we don't have quarter. We only have 5s, 10s and 20-cent coins and 50-cent. Alright, here it is from the front, looking pretty good, and we'll do a full reset on that and away it goes.
There we go.
I think I just fell down a bit there. Yep. We might need to adjust the stroke on it a bit too, do we? Or is it
yes, we do actually. We haven't done that yet.
Okay, now what we're talking about there, people, is if Graham holds this down, he's still got a bit of sponginess.
Yeah.
Downward, do it, show him.
Can still have a bit of
See that going up and down it? So this one's over adjusted and this one's under adjusted.
So this coil's got to go down a smidge.
Yeah, so we'll fix that, but we've illustrated that before. You've just got to get it so the target falls forward.
Yep.
Alright, so just a quick video today. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel. That way you'll get notifications of when our videos are coming up. And don't forget to give us the big thumbs up, and any comments down below are welcome. So this has been another Goat Shed presentation.